Hello everybody and welcome back to the Blue Snot channel. It's been a while, but today we are back with another Quakes / match preview, and it's that time of the season once again. It's the Cali Clasico preview, and this time the Cali Clasico is gonna be at Stanford Stadium, and like many Quakes fans, including myself, I am absolutely buzzing about this game. I mean, this is really the only time where we actually get probably a complete sold out crowd. Consider how, if you saw most of the vlog that I've done this season, you had seen so many empty seats at Avaya Stadium because the team is obviously awful, but it's also because of the fact that this is the only time that potentially we are going to see Zlatan, and maybe this is probably the reason why there is going to be a lot of people that's going to be going in this Cali Clasico. And speaking of Zlatan, you know, despite the fact that this game is a game where I definitely want us to win, and the fact that I really hope that we can get some revenge after what happened a month ago when we lost to the Galaxy at StubHub Center 1-0, but it will be absolutely to my biggest pleasure to hang a big fat L to that self-proclaimed, self-god-like kind of player and egoistic kind of player that is Zlatan Ibrahimovic. And that in the upcoming years, if I can have a conversation with fellow Quakes fan, or even to my sons and daughters about the Quakes and what were the things that we have achieved, we of course were able to beat Zlatan in a Cali Clasico. I mean, that would be just absolutely amazing. But having said that, let's try to be a little bit realistic and not get too optimistic that we are definitely going to beat Zlatan and the LA Galaxy, because let's face it, we all know that the Quakes season is absolute garbage, and the fact that the Galaxy, like last season, are having themselves a bad season again. But this is a Galaxy team that tends to do well whenever they play on the road, which is kind of odd in MLS, because you would think that most teams in MLS love to play at home and usually get their wins at home, and whenever they go on the road, they will always be satisfied by a point, and even 3 points if they can get that. But that is not what this Galaxy team is. This team definitely likes to play on the road, and certainly the Quakes, if you look at our recent history at Cali Clasico, it's been pretty good. I mean, I think in the last 6 Cali Clasico at Stanford Stadium, we only lost one of them. So it's just something about how the players always tends to turn up in this game, and I'm pretty sure that the players will definitely turn up for this game. I mean, you're playing against the most hated rival, and you're playing in front of 50,000 people, which is the most we're gonna get this season at a Quakes game. Surely the player will be excited about this, and surely they will actually turn up and have a good performance for once. But having said that, you know, it is going to be very interesting to see how we're going to stop Zlatan in this game. Consider how bad our defense is and how they just give up goals very cheaply. I just wonder how in the world are we going to exactly stop Zlatan there. And it's not just Zlatan the one that we also have to worry about. There's also other players that we got to worry about on this team too. I mean, everybody talked about how, you know, one of the things that we can do to stop the Galaxy and stop Zlatan is just double team or triple team him. But you also got to remember that there are other players on that LA Galaxy team that can make some big impact besides Zlatan, and that is where I'm gonna get into the players that we got to watch out for. And there are 2 players that we got to watch out for, and I think I mentioned this in the previous Cali Clasico. And the first player that we got to watch out for is Ola Kamara. I mean, besides Zlatan scoring those big goals and him being like the goal scorer that is for the Galaxy, Ola Kamara is the other person that is going to be there. Now, I'm not quite sure if Kamara is going to be playing with Zlatan up front. You know, we've seen it a couple of times this season and it doesn't really quite work out whatsoever. But when he's on the pitch, and if you let him some open space to shoot the ball into the back of the net, or let him get behind your defense, then it is game over. I mean, he is going to score that 9 out of 10 times. And then talk about Roman Alessandrini. Well, we know what he did to us in the last Cali Clasico. He scored the game winner in that game with his left foot, and it was just a goal that we conceded because we just did not have enough closing down, and it wasn't really because that was a wonderful strike. Okay, to be fair, it was a wonderful strike, but still, I felt like our defense should have closed him down, and we should have known that Alessandrini can do that, and that is something that we got to make sure we do this time, and do not make the same mistake again by letting Alessandrini cuts back and shoot with his left foot. Now, in terms for the starting 11 for this game, well, basically the starting 11 that I'm gonna pick is gonna be very similar to the one in the last game. I may be making 1 or 2 changes in the defense, and also we don't have the players that have been in the World Cup, guys like Godoy and Cummins that is currently with Panama in the World Cup. We still don't have them yet back for this game because I think they're gonna get an extra game rest before they are available in the next game, and that even though Panama is not actually out of the tournament, I don't think that Godoy will just quickly the Quakes instantly like that. And in many ways, I actually don't want to see Godoy to play for this Quakes team right now, because let's just say that he was absolutely shocking in the World Cup. I mean, he was not very good with Panama in the World Cup. But in goal, of course, in the starting 11 is going to be Andrew Tarbell, and I think I have said this many times, and I'm going to say it again. I don't want to see Tarbell in the starting 11, but the reason why I have to keep putting him in the starting 11 is that the front office just decide not to look at the goalkeeping position as the one that we are also in big kind of concern, besides the left back position that we had. And speaking of Tarbell, I was absolutely shocked that he was on the bench of the team of the week, because let's face it, in that RSL game, he didn't really look that good either way. I mean, you know, the first goal, I could have say that he was one of the reasons why we conceded that goal, because when that ball was floating and in, he probably could have just punched that out or even catch it and not let one of the other RSL players just kind of like head that one into the back of the nets. And he didn't really make like a couple of crucial saves in that game against RSL. So I don't know why in the world he was in the team of the week. I mean, is it because of the fact that every single goalkeeper besides Tarbell is just having an absolute shit week and that they don't deserve on the team of the week? I don't know. I mean, that was very shocking to see him in the team of the week of MLS. And even it was so shocking that even the team did not acknowledge that Tarbell is in the team of the week. Like, usually when we have a player on the team of the week, the Quakes Twitter page always talk about how their players is in the team of the week. And this time, the Quakes didn't even mention it. I mean, that just shows you how I feel like that is probably one of the most undeserving team of the week kind of inclusion that we have seen so far this season. But, you know, Tarbell, of course, is going to be in there. And then in the left back, it is going to be Partida. You know, Partida did not play very good in that game against RSL, but he didn't really play that badly either way. And at this point, if there is a left back that is kind of playing very mediocre, but is not going to always give the ball away like what we have seen so far from our other left back, then I am definitely going to be happy, because let's face it, nobody on this team can actually play in that left back position. And if we get a mediocre left back playing there, then that is what it is. And it also just shows how much we need a left back in this summer transfer window. Now, in terms for the center back position, this is where I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm actually going to give Ockford and also Quintana another chance in this. I think in the last game we played Afoter and Quintana, and at times they look good and at times they look bad, but it just felt like it's right now it doesn't really make any difference if we change center back or if we just keep the same center back, because they are always tend to be shit. but still, I want to put Offer in there to just get some minutes in this game alongside with Quintana. And then of course in the right back position it is going to be Nick Lima, and I just want to say congratulations on that contract extension that he got, and thank goodness we gave him a contract extension, because you know, if you remember a couple of years ago with the fact that we did not give a contract extension to just Morrow and Steven Beitashour, and how it seemed like that probably was one of the biggest mistake that we have made as an organization. And believe me, we have made a lot of bad mistake and have made a lot of kind of either bad signing or letting player go when we shouldn't have let them go back when the Doyle era was in full force for the Quakes. But I'm so glad that we actually give Nick Lima a contract extension, and that he is going to be with us for these next couple of years. And he's a very talented right back too, so we definitely need to try to keep him, and we try not to have the same situation we had with Beitashour and Morrow, where we just let them go, even though they definitely show potential too when they were still with us. Now in the holding midfield position, I'm gonna say it's gonna be Youngworth and Jackson Yu that is gonna be there, and they're both of them are gonna be in that position until probably Godoy comes back in the starting 11. Now in the left wing, I'm gonna say it's gonna be Magnus Eriksson, and then at the right it is gonna be Vako, and then up front I think it's gonna be Husin and Wando. And believe it or not, it's Husin the one that seems to be carrying the team with scoring goals this season. I mean, in previous years it's been always Wando the one that kind of bailed us out in terms of goal scoring in duty, but this season it's been Husin the one that has been scoring all the goals. I mean, he is currently, believe it or not, third in the standings in terms of goal scoring at 10 goals, and he's only like not four, but only like 2 behind BWP and 5 behind Joseph Martinez, that currently leads the Golden Boot race. And you know, as much as I'm happy that Danny is putting those goals away, I am also a little bit concerned the fact that he's the only guy that is doing it. I mean, that kind of reminds me of what happened when we kept relying on Wando to score us the goal, and that did not go so well in terms of those seasons that we always relied Wando as the only guy to score us the goal. So hopefully somebody on this team can actually step up and score the goal, and even Wando himself, I hope eventually he can maybe at least give us one last hurrah before potentially he is going to hang it up. I mean, this season has shown a lot of signs that Wando is getting very close to hang up his boots and potentially retire his career. And when that day comes, obviously it will be very sad, but at the same time it feels like it is now coming sooner than what I expected. And hopefully, you know, Wando can somehow have enough leg, and probably before he retires his career, he can still able to get the top goal scorer in MLS and pass that hated Landon Donovan player in the top scorer of MLS. But we shall see how he will do. I think he's only like 7 behind Donovan right now, and you know, the Galaxy is one opponent that Wando seems to like to score against, so hopefully maybe he can score a goal in this game also. But either way, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Oh, by the way, I forgot to make my prediction for this video, or not this video, but for this game. But you guys probably know what the prediction is. It's obviously gonna be a win. Whenever we play against LA, I would never say that we're going to lose, even though we're probably gonna lose, because many people are predicting us to lose, and predicting that since we're having such an awful season that, you know, we always tend to lose, and that if we trying to get a win, then you are kind of or you're trying to saying that the Quakes can win, then you are kind of a deluded fan. But come on, this is the Cali Clasico. We're playing our hated rival. We obviously want to win this game. So because of that, I'm going to say we're going to win. I'm going to say we're going to win it by a final score of 2-1. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you guys leave a like, smash that subscribe button. And yeah, I of course will see you guys next time.